This document provides a comparative analysis of tort law and criminal law, highlighting their key differences and similarities. While both systems aim to regulate behavior and provide remedies for harm, they operate under distinct principles, procedures, and objectives. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for navigating the legal landscape and appreciating the nuances of civil and criminal justice. Tort. A tort is a civil wrong that causes someone else to suffer loss or harm, resulting in legal liability for the person who commits the tortious act. The primary goal of tort law is to compensate the injured party, the plaintiff, for their losses, making them whole again. This compensation typically takes the form of monetary damages. Examples of torts include negligence, defamation, trespass, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Crime. A crime is an act or omission that violates a public law and is punishable by the government. Criminal law aims to maintain social order, deter future wrongdoing, and punish offenders. The state, representing the public interest, prosecutes criminal cases. Penalties for crimes can range from fines and community service to imprisonment and, in some jurisdictions, the death penalty. Examples of crimes include theft, assault, murder, and fraud. Tort versus crime. Wrong. Private wrong. Public wrong. Objective. Compensation. Punishment. Parties. Plaintiff versus defendant. State versus defendant. Proof burden. Preponderance. Reasonable doubt. Standard. Lower. Higher. Remedies. Monetary. Punishment. Initiation. Lawsuit. Prosecution. Focus. Individual. Societal. The fundamental difference lies in the nature of the wrong committed. A tort is considered a private wrong, primarily affecting an individual or a specific group of individuals. The harm is directed at a particular person, and the legal action is initiated by that person. A crime, on the other hand, is considered a public wrong, an offense against society as a whole. While a specific individual may be the victim of a crime, the act is seen as a violation of the social order and a threat to public safety. The primary objective of tort law is to compensate the injured party for their losses. The goal is to restore the plaintiff to the position they would have been in had the tort not occurred. This is achieved through monetary damages, which can cover medical expenses, lost wages, property damage, and pain and suffering. In some cases, punitive damages may be awarded to punish the defendant for egregious conduct and deter others from similar. The objective of criminal law is to punish the offender for their wrongdoing and deter future criminal activity. Punishment serves several purposes, including retribution, incapacitation, and rehabilitation. Deterrence aims to discourage both the offender, specific deterrence. In a tort case, the parties involved are the plaintiff, the injured party, and the defendant, the tortfeasor, the person who committed the tort. The plaintiff initiates the lawsuit against the. In a criminal case, the parties involved are the state, or government, and the defendant, the accused. The state, representing the public interest, prosecutes the defendant. The victim of the crime may be a witness in the case, but is not a direct party to the legal action. Burden and standard of proof. The burden of proof in a tort case rests on the plaintiff. The plaintiff must prove that the defendant committed the tort and that the tort caused them harm. The standard of proof is preponderance of the evidence, meaning that it is more likely than not that the defendant is liable. This is a lower standard of proof than in criminal cases. Burden and standard of proof. In a criminal case, the burden of proof rests on the prosecution, the state. The prosecution must prove that the defendant committed the crime beyond a reasonable doubt. This is a much higher standard of proof than in tort cases, reflecting the more severe consequences of a criminal conviction. The primary remedy in tort law is monetary damages. These damages can be compensatory, to cover the plaintiff's losses, or punitive, to punish the defendant. Compensatory damages can include medical expenses, costs associated with treating injuries, lost wages, income lost as a result of the injury, property damage, costs to repair or replace damaged property, pain and suffering, compensation for physical and emotional distress. Remedies in criminal law are more varied, and can include fines, monetary penalties paid to the government, imprisonment, confinement in a jail or prison, community service, work performed for the benefit of the community, probation, supervised release into the community, restitution, payment to the victim to cover their losses, death penalty, in some jurisdictions, for certain heinous crimes. Initiation of legal action. A tort case is initiated by the injured party, the plaintiff, filing a lawsuit against the tortfeasor, the defendant. The plaintiff is responsible for investigating the facts, gathering evidence, and presenting their case in court. Initiation of legal action. A criminal case is initiated by the government, the state, through law enforcement agencies and prosecutors. The government investigates the crime, gathers evidence, and prosecutes the defendant. Despite their differences, tort and criminal law share some similarities. Both aim to regulate behavior. Both systems seek to influence behavior and prevent harm. Both can arise from the same conduct. A single act can sometimes give rise to both a tort claim and a criminal charge. For example, a drunk driver who causes an accident could be sued for negligence in tort law and charged with driving under the influence in criminal law. Both involve legal proceedings. Both tort and criminal cases involve legal proceedings, including investigations, discovery, trials, and appeals. Both can provide remedies. Both systems offer remedies for harm, although the nature of those remedies differs. It is important to note that the same conduct can sometimes give rise to both a tort claim and a criminal charge. For example, assault and battery can be both a crime and a tort. The criminal case would be prosecuted by the state, with the goal of punishing the offender. The tort case would be brought by the victim, with the goal of obtaining compensation for their injuries. In such cases, the outcome of one case does not necessarily determine the outcome of the other. A defendant can be acquitted of a criminal charge, but still be found liable in a tort case, or vice versa. This is because the burden of proof and the standard of proof are different in the two types of cases. Tort law and criminal law are distinct, but interconnected systems of law. While both aim to regulate behavior and provide remedies for harm, they operate under different principles, procedures, and objectives. Understanding these differences is essential for navigating the legal system and appreciating the complexities of civil and criminal justice. The key distinctions lie in the nature of the wrong, the objective of the legal action, the parties involved, the burden and standard of proof, the remedies available, and the initiation of legal action. Recognizing both